Welcome back to the Pen and Podcast. This is episode 18. Forgot to start the gameplay. Fuck. All right. Well, episode 18. Did you expect us to get to 18, Eddie?
I had a lot of faith with this from the very beginning. Obviously, I had some doubts, because it's kind of a big undertaking, but I think it's become a very important part of my life and my routine, and I very much enjoyed this every week.
Really? Oh, I'm glad to hear
Yeah,
that. Let's fucking
yeah.
go.
This is like a big part of my life, and I love that we do this. It makes me very happy.
I love it too. I love saying like, oh, I got a podcast to record, with my friend
Yeah,
Eddie.
dude, it's kind of like a low key flex. Like,
Low-key flex.
oh yeah, I have a podcast.
Yeah, check it out if you can. No
Yeah,
big deal. It would
yeah.
help. It would help
We
our.
have plenty of listeners already.
It would help our average of four
Yeah,
viewers. That is what our average plays are. Not viewers, but like we average 4 plays per. Not counting
we're,
YouTube. That doesn't count
we're
YouTube. That counts only like
changing the
Apple.
lives of many.
Yes,
Oh
Apple,
yeah,
Google, stuff like that.
right.
So, this episode will be dedicated to one of my favorite games, and recently Eddie beat it too. Star
Whoa,
Wars Jedi Fallen Order.
great game, cool game.
Oh yeah,
I'm excited to talk about it.
Eddie is fresh off of beating it. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
Yes, I beat it when it originally came out. So and was happy. I was like, he's like, let's talk about Jedi Fallen Order. I was like, fucking bet. I would love to talk about this
Sure.
game, bro.
Yeah.
So, let's start with our intros. How are you doing today, friend?
I'm doing pretty good. I had a night of debauchery last night, and I went out with my work friends, and we got really drunk, and we went to this bar where there's a claw machine in it, and they have little rubber ducks in there.
Yeah.
So we all got rubber ducks, and since I bring my little vintagey 2000s digital camera around, it's like it's fun to take little photos of everybody, and it's like a good bonding experience. So yeah, now that I've like experimented with my little camera a little bit more, it will come with me everywhere I go from now on. So yeah,
Fuck yeah, man.
it's a good time.
Yeah, it's great to hear. Annabelle, like we went to a mall. We went to Chandler Mall. Did I take you guys to Chandler Mall when you were out here?
We went the second time to Chandler Mall. The first time we went to Mills.
Oh yes, Mills. Yeah. Took her there, and they opened up a new shop, like a new like Japanese style shop where they have those mini claw machines,
Yeah.
and they were kind of addicting. And I won I won a little like Genshin Impact doll, and I gave it right to like my girlfriend because I was like, you would like this more than I
Very
will.
nice.
And then
That's
she
good.
won 2 of them herself.
Whoa,
And
professional.
there's like a couple.
Man.
There's like a couple like around like next to us, and they're like, "Oh my god!" Like every time they won one, like you guys are so lucky. What the hell? So yeah, that was cool. I'm glad you had fun there.
It's a good time. It's called
Yeah,
the Dirty Duck. It's
Dirty
in
Dog.
South Denver. Um, it's like a kind of a locally dive bar. It's pretty cheap, not that crowded.
Mhm.
I suggest it if you're in the area. But yeah, so been doing good. I'm a little tired today just because like I didn't sleep very much last night,
Mhm.
and yeah, worked. Then I came home, ate some din din. Now I'm on the pod. This week, what have I been doing? I went to the dentist.
Okay.
um,
Okay.
let's see, what else did I do? That was on Wednesday. Um, I we believe we've found the cause of my sleep issues because I can't stay asleep at night. Like I wake up in the middle
Really?
of the night all the time, and we believe I potentially have sleep apnea. So
Sleep
that's
apnea.
yeah, basically like because I breathe through my mouth all the time.
I
'Cause
breathe
I'm a
through my
fucking
mouth all the
cannibal,
time
dude.
too. It
Yeah,
like wakes Annabelle up all the time, and she like can't go to sleep because I just snore.
yeah, yeah. So like depending on the person, that can be problematic. For me, it's problematic because I never wake up rested, and I wake up in the middle of the night like all the time, and I can't breathe through my nose ever, even when I'm awake. So um, we may be able to solve that problem, and I will be able to sleep a restful night once again. That would be nice, but
That would be
who
nice.
knows? Um, let's see what else. I am approaching my next competition. That is 2 weeks from today.
Weeks from
What
today.
else?
Interesting.
Yeah, 2 weeks from today. It's on the 18th. Um, what else has been going down? School is rounding out. I have a test on Tuesday, a test on Thursday, and then a test on next Tuesday. Then I'm done. I have one more paper to finish in terms of projects, and that's it. So I got 3 tests and one paper, and then I'm done with the semester. So, yep,
All right.
that's been lately.
That's the hip hop as of late.
The hip hop, yes.
All right. Not bad, man. Pretty good. Well, hope you get
Thanks.
that sleep apnea fixed
I hope
because
so.
I'm still working on solution two. 'Cause I feel like there's these like different mattresses where you can like adjust how the height of your legs and head, and like Annabelle found that like I didn't snore as much when I had my like head up and like my legs up too,
Huh?
like
You're
in a
like in a hammock.
like a hammock position almost. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So
you just hang a hammock from your ceiling fan.
there you go.
That's your
That's
solution.
that'll work. Yeah, those maybe that's like another a future purchase down the line. It's like one of those cool mattresses that can move up and down.
Yeah,
But
it's cool.
I've I've been pretty good.
That's
Um,
good, man.
I just bought a souped up PC.
Ooh, hey, hey.
Hey,
How
hey,
much?
2500.
Nice.
Yes, it is. It's gonna have like the latest like CPU processor, like an AMD Ryzen 9, like 5900 or something like
Nice.
that. Yeah. So like, I just wanted like the best thing right now. The best like graphics cards, so I can like render videos faster if I was gonna like do some video editing, which I like want to plan on doing that more. Trying to do like some trying, but I want to do some more work on my time management because it's still not good.
Hmm.
Want to get more stuff done, and maybe that's gonna have to like change how I sleep because I want to wake up earlier. Like today, girlfriend and I woke up at I think like 11 or 12, and
Dude,
then
that's a
yeah,
flex. Hell yeah.
yeah, then we didn't. I haven't left the house today. It's been raining all day in Phoenix.
Oh,
Believe that?
really? That's weird.
Yeah,
Interesting.
it never happens.
Yeah, it's dry and gloomy here. There's nothing, no snow. Well, there's
Yeah,
snow on the ground, but it's just dry,
yeah.
dead.
I want it. I wanted to record some footage for the podcast of the game because I, especially the game like this, I'm not gonna play it like while I'm talking because I need like total concentration when doing stuff. So yeah, woke up, ate some cereal, some fruity pebbles with a
Nice.
girlfriend. Had I was on like doing some like other like miscellaneous stuff. Then I was playing this. I was actually talking to DJ in Carrington while playing this. Dito hopped in
Okay.
too. pretty cool. Um, I was gonna ask, like, I wanted to get like DJ in like for tomorrow's episode because people who don't know, or actually none of you would know, but um I'm gonna be on like sort of like I'm not gonna be available next week. So tomorrow we're recording Saturday. We usually record Sunday. So tomorrow, Sunday, we're gonna record another episode so that I can put that out the following Monday, so I can spend that time. And so we're gonna talk about the 12 or like a game of the month that came out this year. Each game, talk about it a little bit, like what we liked and like why we thought it was our favorite. And it's not it's not gonna be held down to a new games that released that month specifically. It's just gonna be like if you remember playing a game that month, like I'm about to check like my achievements and like my trophies. So I don't know what I fucking played, like every month. But yeah, that's what we're gonna be doing.
Nice.
So yeah, been Fallen Order. Got the footage for this, and as I was playing this again, I was like, dude, I love this game. Like, shit.
So good.
At one point, I was like, I want 100% this game, and then that didn't happen for reasons I don't know. But now that I got in the groove of things again, I was like, this is a mighty fine game. Wouldn't mind 100%ing this. But that's what I've been playing. Actually, no, it's not what I've been playing. I've been playing Pokemon Violet. That Pokédex fill up is gonna be quite a challenge for
Closer
some of
you.
them. I'm like out of like 300, like 400 or something. I'm at like 30, 310 or something like that.
You're pretty close, so nice.
Yeah. So I'll just have to trade for a bunch of other ones. God of War Ragnarok. Gonna be playing that more since I'm scaling back how much Pokemon I'm gonna be playing. Then yeah, just playing this game, Pokemon Go. I've been playing it like consistently, like throughout. That's been pretty good. Um, what are your Xmas plans, bro? What are your Christmas plans? Do you have any?
Probably not. All my family like lives close, so we'll just like get together close-ish, closest enough. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Um, other than that, yeah, no traveling, nothing special or anything, just normal stuff.
All right. All right.
What about you?
I'm the thing I told you about next week is like related to that. We're gonna have like an early Christmas thing with that going on, and then on the Christmas Eve, I'm gonna go over to my girlfriend's grandparents' house, hang out
Nice.
there. Then later in the day, we're gonna go over to her dad's house. We're gonna play some like there they used to do like a Secret Santa thing, but this year they're gonna do something different and how like we're gonna play games for like presents instead. You know, like they're like
Cool.
bring a present for like a dude and bring a present for a woman. You know, like it's fair
Sweet.
enough. And
Right.
yeah, we're gonna be playing some games that I think that's gonna be really fun.
Yeah, that is cool. I
Yeah,
like that.
yeah. And then Christmas
Sounds like
Day,
interesting. Mhm.
we're gonna be just spend Christmas with my parents here, have Christmas dinner and stuff. Do you do Christmas dinner? Is that a thing?
Um, yeah, kinda. Like, yeah, no, not kinda. We do. Yeah, we do
Yeah.
that.
Okay.
We like, yeah, we eat like ham and roast beef and shit. Yeah.
All right. Nice. Yep. Those are my plans for Christmas.
Nice.
I read the dates wrong because like I was thinking I was like, okay, we're gonna record this episode and the episode tomorrow, and then like that next week will be Christmas and I'll take a break. But I totally forgot like birthday weekend, the 16th for me will be we're gonna do another episode then. So we're gonna come up with something else that day.
Mm.
I
So
forgot about that.
that's
What's this? The
16.
19th? No. Well, like
Well,
you're gonna be doing your meat thing, huh? So I don't think we're gonna be able
that's
to
on
do
the
it.
18th. Yeah.
That's on.
So I wouldn't be able to record that day. I can record the 17th though. But we can talk about that later.
Yeah, yeah, we can talk about that later for sure. Um, well, you've been playing anything else besides Fallen Order?
Um,
Oh yes,
No.
no. See, the answer to my question in our DMs, our text messages. What's that?
Wait, hold on. I need to remember this.
I sent that picture like
Wait.
at night.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I remember. um I played like 30 minutes of it, and here's my problem
Oh no.
is if it was voice acted, the
Ah.
dialogue, I could do it, but it's it's just not it's not fast enough for me to be okay with reading everything. So like there's obviously there's going to be a lot of build up, a lot of like, it's a conversationalist game, so it's like a lot of, it's like reading a book, but you're
Mhm.
only reading like the quotations in a book rather than like the body, because the body of the text is like what you're seeing with your eyes.
Yeah.
So like, in a book when it like describes the setting, like you're seeing that with your eyes, and when you're playing the game, like, and you're controlling the movement of the character. But like basically you're just like, yeah, you're reading a book, but just with the quotations, and it's not voice acted, and I can't do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, at least you
It has,
tried it. Like that's why I
yeah,
appreciate
I
you
did try
trying
it.
it.
Yeah, it has cool art. And I like the soundtrack, and I did like the little character kind of backstory thingy.
Mhm.
Not that I saw how that affects the gameplay, but um,
Yeah.
I like that you could pick a, sort of a national origin first, and that can determine like what languages you speak and what cultural knowledge you have that you can use in dialogue, and then you can also pick your background as like what you do as a person.
Yeah.
So like you can pick if you were like a banker, not a banker, like a businessman, or um a book reading person, um a trickster, or like a low tier criminal, or like, these are all like background options, and they can determine like more dialogue options and like elements of the story that you may not be able to access without those specific set of skills.
Mhm.
So that was cool. um, I liked that quite a bit.
Okay. Well, thanks for giving it a try at least. And
Yes.
listening to a podcast on the game specifically, and how like the director from Josh Sawyer was like, because one of the questions was asked was like, yeah, this isn't voice acted. Is that a thing they can do later down the line? And he's like, potentially, but maybe not, because it was a small team. It was like 15 or so people working on that game,
Hmm.
and like he just made a choice because there's so many different people involved, like different like types of people that you see in that game, and like they're and like the different voices and stuff. And he was like, it was costing too much, and it would be too much time. That's what he was trying to say.
See,
I was like, that game would benefit from like voice acting, because another game similarly did that. That's why that guy asked the question. Shout out
I
Last
see.
Stand Media, Defining Duke. But any good movies or TV shows lately?
Um, let's see. I Movies. What have I seen? No, we talked about Black Adam last week, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Let's see. That was the last movie I saw. I watched the prequels again just because I felt like it. Um, the
Yes.
prequels are the best trilogy, by the way, in my opinion.
Yes, in my opinion,
Yeah.
same.
I
Yes.
think our generation appreciates them, while the old fucks that that grew up with the originals, um, they
Yeah.
hate on it for no reason, which I think is stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, I think it's like silly to, I don't know, like people peg it for like, oh, there's too much CGI. Like, well, that was like brand new at the time, so like
Of course, they were
it
gonna
was like
use it.
it was a pioneering moment in film history. Like nobody had done that before. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, and then other people, oh, Jar Jar's annoying. He's supposed to be annoying. That's the fucking point. He's annoying to the characters in the movie.
Yeah.
It's not. He's not annoying because he's a bad character. He's annoying because he's supposed to be annoying. Like, there's almost no claim you could throw at me that is commonly hated on for the prequels that I can't refute. Like, they're better.
Yeah, I just like them more. I mean, like better
Yeah.
lightsaber battles. One,
Oh, yeah. Mhm.
even
The
compared to like,
sound is better.
yeah,
Like, oh, dude, the sound effects are like make you fucking come.
dude. And episode
Like,
2, like when like he was being chased from like from Jango Fett, and how like, he like releases that bombs like,
yeah, that seismic charge thing, dude, fucking
yes,
insane. Yeah. Oh my god, what an incredible movie. Yeah, and like people people dog on the actors like they're not that good, and I'm like, what are you seeing? And then that's not good. Like,
mm-hmm.
there's
Yeah,
some awkward moments with the writing, but like so does every movie. Every movie has weird moments with writing. Like, we
exactly.
all watched the new Batman when he says "I'm vengeance" for the first time, and it's like the fucking weirdest thing ever. Like, but that's just like part of the fun, you know? Like,
Yeah,
yeah. So, yeah. Or like, even or I'll just say Batman again. I don't know why I keep thinking of Batman. Like in the Christian Bale Batman, he's like, "They killed my parents."
or
Just
like
like,
the dumb I'm not wearing hockey pads.
I'm not wearing hockey pads. Yeah.
Yeah, like,
Just like dumb shit like that. Yeah.
mm-hmm.
That's like normal. That's how movies are. Can't have perfect dialogue. It's not like the original trilogy had perfect writing.
Nah, definitely didn't, but
Yeah. So, I don't know. Fucking goat. Hayden Christensen, goat. Ewan McGregor, goat. Natalie Portman, goat.
goat.
Everyone's goat.
It's just goat, man.
Yeah.
It was just goat. So let's talk about the game now. So Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, released in 2019, and it's an action adventure game. It was developed by Respawn Entertainment, and they're known for Titanfall, Apex Legends, and they made Respawn Entertainment devs from, because like there's a whole controversy with Modern Warfare 2 devs on how like, I can't exactly remember, but like they just weren't getting paid or something like that until they split, and then later down
Mm-hmm.
the line they made Respawn Entertainment, and just goes to show you that like these guys they know what they're fucking doing, because I mean they made Titanfall 1, which and Titanfall 2, like those games are underrated. Like
Highly underrated.
Titanfall 2 suffered because it came out during COD and Battlefield
Yeah.
1.
Yeah. That was like the worst time it could have ever came
Worst.
out.
The worst.
And like, yeah, Titanfall 2 is kind of a tragedy because like it just didn't have the player base. And when personally for me, when a game has no player base, I lose motivation to play it because I feel like, putting in the work will not pay off because nobody, like, I won't be able to find the lobbies or
Mm-hmm.
find games without waiting for hours and hours. So I just don't play it, which is kind of doesn't make that much sense, but that's like how I operate. So yeah.
Yeah. The game is set 5 years after the events of Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, my favorite movie. And there's a sequel that's set to be released next year. We're probably going to get a release date at the Game Awards this upcoming Thursday, the 8th. So I'll be talking about that in a future podcast for sure.
Yeah.
It's called Star Wars Jedi Survivor, which is definitely interesting, and yeah, that's another topic of discussion. We're here
Yeah.
to talk about Fallen Order. So we're first going to talk about the gameplay. Eddie, how did it feel being a Jedi in this game compared to the other games of Star Wars that you played before, when you or yourself are a Jedi?
Well, I'll say first that I've taken the form of Jedi in, let's see, the original Battlefront, the original Battlefront 2, The Force Unleashed, the new Battlefronts. What else? Fucking. Can you think of any other ones?
Um, Knights of the Old Republic
Didn't
1
play
and
it.
2. Let me see. I actually in Battlefront 1 and from like 2004 or something, I don't think you can be a Jedi in that. There were
You're
Jedi,
right.
but yeah, but they would come and kill you for sure. Like they did
Uh,
exist. You don't think you can play as
yeah.
one.
There are heroes in the original Battlefront 2 though, because I've played that recently.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah. So yeah, of all the games that I have
Lego
taken
Star
control,
Wars.
like yeah, there you go, right? Bro, Lego Emperor, go. Lego Yoda when he falls in the hole. Fucking amazing. So okay, this is a dichotomy point that I'm about to make, meaning it has like two sides.
Okay.
So um I I don't like it and I do like it for this reason.
Okay.
You are quite you don't feel like a monster, like completely invincible, like fucking like God on earth just destroying everything in your path, right?
Yeah.
So I applaud the game for that and I also don't like it for that. So that means it's perfect in my opinion. So it's kind of a weird point. But like in Force Unleashed, you're like the fucking goat. Like
Oh
nobody
yeah.
can touch you. Like Star Killer is the like insane. Like that game is so like you're so OP. Like
Yeah.
you pull a fucking Star Destroyer out of the sky. Like you're insane. Like um and then the reason I like being kind of weaker in this game is it serves the story because Cal's the main character, Cal Kestis.
Cal Kestis.
Cal Cal is a young Jedi learner. He's not technically a Padawan because he has no master.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and he only received training until he was about like what, like 10 or so,
10, 11,
11.
12, whenever,
Yeah.
it's not really
So
explicitly said.
yeah. So basically, like most Jedi are inducted in the order like when they're like under the age of like 5 or whatever. So that means he'd only been training for like a little bit of time. So um, it serves the story in the way that you really like you don't feel invincible like a fucking god like walking amongst men.
Mm-hmm.
And so while yes, that takes away from the gameplay, like you don't feel super OP, but it also serves the story because Cal is not like he's not the goat. Like he's self-taught, like he's learning along the way,
Yeah.
which is awesome. I think that makes his character develop much better than if he was just super OP.
Yeah. Well said. This game, I feel is like the best representation of a Jedi like in combat because of the parries you can do, the force powers. I mean, like Force Unleashed had awesome force powers, but again, you are supposed to be unstoppable in that game. Like it is supposed to, it's like an arcade game for like Jedi, just like how what Gran Turismo is to realistic driving is what Need for Speed is to arcade driving. Like it's supposed
Right.
to like not be serious. It's just supposed to be fun. And this game strikes a good balance. It's fun and it's like as realistic as like we're gonna get. It's like an act of playing a Jedi,
Yeah.
because you have to dodge. You gotta like jump and do stuff. And as you're
Right.
seeing in this gameplay here, like I like strategically knowing when to dodge and stuff. Because Star Killer, you're just going in, just whamming, just taking
That
dudes.
game is
And
so cool.
yeah, the physics and the
Oh
Force
man.
Unleashed is so awesome.
Oh, they're so good. Incredible. Dude, and that's the one game, probably one of the only games I would ever say the best experience is to play on the Wii.
Oh yeah, I've never
Dude,
played it on the Wii.
oh my Zach, oh my god, it's so fun. It is so fun. Like you
Dude,
feel like you're in the game. Like
wow. They
shit is sick.
they released that game like on the Switch,
Uh-huh.
and so like it's based on the Wii version.
Yeah.
So
Dude,
like
the
if it's on
Force
sale
Unleashed
ever.
with motion control is so fun. Oh my god. That's how I played it the first time.
Yeah.
And the only time actually I played it on the Wii. That's the only way I know it.
Hmm.
It's oof. That like that's awesome. I'll always remember that game.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, I'm saying like being a Jedi in this game, it's the best representation. It's the best. Like you are truly a Jedi in this game.
Right. Yeah.
Was how was the combat? Was it fluid enough? Because I mean, telling from like I played it in 30 frames per second. You played it first, and then you played it in 60 frames. Like
Mhm.
that makes a difference, obviously. And
It does. Yeah.
remembering it from back then, it was still like fluid enough to me because you're just it helps that it adopts like a combat style similar to a Dark Souls, like strategic combat. I would say strategic action combat, knowing when to dodge, when to get out the way, when to hit.
Right.
That's to me what makes this game's combat fluid. What do you think?
hmm I think the combat's fluid if you play it very consistently. So like what I noticed is so that's my own fault. Like so if I were to play this game like every single day, like I play 1 hour a day or whatever,
Yeah.
I would have gotten really, really good at the combat. But like what I did is I played a few hours and then I like stopped for a whole week and then I played like, third of the game and then I stopped for 3 days and then like I just wasn't consistent about it until I got close to the end.
Mm-hmm.
Um so like I think if I would have stuck with it consistently the whole way, then I would have thought the combat was like super, super fluid. Um but basically like what I think is you have to like learn it for it to be fluid, but once you do it feels really good because like there's some times where I'll get like combo strings and it just feels like holy shit, like this is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So
100%. Like the further you go down in the game, the more skills you learn because you unlock skill points and stuff like that. And like this game can be very complex in its combat when you know how to use it, just like a Dark Souls or an Elden Ring. It's it can be worthwhile to learn it, and you make a good point. If you don't care about the game's combat, you just care about like Star Wars and the story that it tells. I mean, you're not gonna really like want to learn about it, but I honestly think you should.
yeah. hmm yeah, it's quite rewarding if you're when you play it well, like when you're good at the game, like it feels cool.
Yeah, and I beat it on the second hardest difficulty, but you just jumped straight into the hardest one, right?
Okay, I made a mistake. I played on the second hardest as well. I
Okay.
thought I thought Jedi Master was the hardest just because it sounds like the hardest one. But when you said that last time, I was like, oh yeah, I'm on the hardest one. I'm not. I'm on Jedi. I'm Jedi Grandmaster's the hardest.
Yeah.
So I did on Jedi. Yeah, I did
Okay.
on Jedi Master.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's what I beat it first, and then this gameplay everybody's seeing, this is Jedi Grandmaster, which
whoa,
which I would say yeah, definitely harder, but it's not it's like not as difficult. I mean, you can definitely pick it up, Eddie. I mean, it was Jedi Grandmaster an option? I think it is an option straight from the get go.
yeah, it is.
Yeah, there is an achievement actually for doing a Jedi
Oh,
Grandmaster.
yeah, I'm just not. There's some parts of like this bliss planet he's on right now in the videos called Dathomir. This place is hard.
Oh, dude, we can talk about like the planets and stuff like in like the setting characters later. I have stuff to say about this planet, dude. I hate this planet. But
Fucking awful.
yeah. So how this game goes is like Cal is like learning his force powers back again, and we'll talk about like why that is there in the plot, but that's how the game like operates. Like you slowly learn more and more your force powers and how to do things throughout the game. Is that style of gameplay like cool, good to you, or did you like, or would you have liked to have like here's everything that you can do what you want.
Yeah. No, I like the progressive idea. So like you start off with few skills, but you gain more. But I wish that they delivered the new skills in a different way.
Hmm.
Because it feels kind of forced. Like you're just in the middle of a situation, then all of a sudden you're like, oh, I remember how to do this now. Like it doesn't make sense. Like, you know.
Yeah.
So like that feels a little forced, but like I like the progression, like where you start off with very few abilities and you gain more. Um, so yeah, I do like that.
Yeah, and I like it myself because like it ties into like the story and how like he's
I like the
repairing
yeah.
he's repairing his
Hmm.
connection to the Force and like, oh shit, I do know how to do this because
Yeah.
we'll talk about that later. But yeah, I like it. I like how you learning your Force powers back, but I can see where like as you're jumping, you're like, oh shit, I know how to do this.
You're like, oh, I remember. Like
I
right before
remember.
you're gonna die, you're like, oh, I remember now.
Yeah.
Like you have a yeah, you go flashback to baby Cal, and you're just like, oh yeah, like I did this one time.
I did this one time. Like I cannot remember.
Yeah,
I could not be me.
yeah, literally. Fuck no. So
Yeah,
yeah, no.
sure. How often did you use the Force with your enemies? Because in this game, you have a Force meter, and it's like you can't spam the Force like you can like Force Unleashed, which makes sense because of the title. But like, how were you careful with using it, or did you like use it until it's all gone? Because when it's all gone, you have to like make contact with enemies like with your lightsaber to earn back ability your use of the Force. Did you like that, or how much did you use of it?
I use the force like a lot. So mostly the slow and the push. I very rarely use the pull. Um, just because most of the time, like the enemies are quite overwhelming, so I don't want more of them closer to me. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
um, yeah. So kind of yeah, and
Mm-hmm.
like with the like the meter and it like refilling, like that felt good because it kind of forced you to use both parts of the combat system. Like you have to use melee to use your force. Like
Mm-hmm.
so that was cool. I like that. It did feel kind of limited, like especially in the early stages when your force meter is really small. Like it felt like you had like it needed more. Like you feel kind of like underpowered. Like you have like you can use the force like two times in combat and then you have to recharge. Like so like in the early stages it's kind of limited, but like by the end, like the last three quarters, like it feels pretty good because you can use it fluidly.
Mm-hmm. No, I expand like the Force powers pretty much at points.
But yeah.
Like on Dathomir, dude, those Knight Brothers, I use the Force pull every time. It's like I'm not dealing with that shit. Fuck that. It's a one hit kill. Like you
Yeah.
pull them in, stab them. That's it.
Oh, is that? Oh shit, dude! I never even used
Yeah,
that.
I like first playthrough, like I didn't know about that. It's like half was like, what if I just force pull them? And it's a one hit kill. I'm like, oh my god, I'm doing this every time. I'm conserving my force
Yeah.
powers just for those jackasses.
I fucking hate those Knight Brothers. Oh, they're
Suck, bro.
awful.
God. Let's see. Was parrying worthwhile to you? Did you use it a lot? How was the
I
parrying in
used
this combat versus you played Dark Souls before? What do you think?
yeah. Um. Well, Dark Souls. I never parry in Dark Souls because it's way too hard. Like I
Mm-hmm.
cannot get the fucking timing right. Like I don't know how anyone does it. Um. In Dark Souls, I play a very evasive play style, so like I do a lot of rolling. I don't really block that much. I like to use like uh, two swords and not use a shield. Um, so coming to this game where pairing's a little bit friendlier, it's not as difficult to do.
Mm-hmm.
I use it a lot more, and I think it's something that you kind of have to use in this game. Otherwise, you just get bullied um, by the long ass combo strings like these. This guy that Zach's currently looking at in the video, these little monsters. I don't know what they're called. Their attack strings are so long, and even some of the early game enemies, like they'll like kill you in like two or three hits, like if you don't block or parry it. It's like
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Yeah. So yeah, I think the pairing is a little bit more accessible, and it's absolutely essential that you use it.
Mm-hmm. I would say like I was overall like I was like an overall play style. Like I used everything, like parrying, force, lightsaber combat, you know. But the like I learned like just playing today is like you can kill this thing as you're gonna see now by just parrying, and like that's cool. Like it's using the systems given to you. It's like just do this and you can one hit kill.
Right.
The puzzles now, there this game is features would you say quite a bit of puzzles or like a good amount?
Say like a decent amount because they only really come up in the Zepho temples.
Yeah, and like some exploration stuff in other planets.
Mhm. But like the big ones are only in the temples.
Yeah. Were they hard? Did you like have trouble doing any of them?
There was only one I had to look up. I'll just say that.
Yeah, I
Um,
think I looked up a couple.
I looked up the the one before the ice cave one. I can't remember what it was. It's the one where there's like a chain and you have to burn the thorns that are
Oh.
surrounding the chain. I had to look that one up.
Oh,
Um,
okay. When like you're
yeah,
okay, I see, yeah.
you have to like throw the fire pot at it or whatever. That one just I could not figure it out. So um, I had to look that one up. The other ones like they're hard, but like not like there's a point where certain puzzles like it's not that they're hard, it's just like they're so tedious. Like if you mess up one thing, you have to like do a bunch of backtracking and dumb shit like that. I'm like, ugh, you know.
Yeah.
Um,
Which we can go straight into like that too. So this game adopts a Metroidvania style progression and exploration, which means did you like backtracking to planets and finding different items, abilities, and sometimes new enemies, which like it forces you to backtrack. Like you don't have an
yeah.
option.
So I like backtracking to old planets, but the backtracking mid level is, I think, the worst thing about this game. Like,
Mm.
you get all the way. So, like, when you first go to Kashyyyk, you go all the way through this like imperial complex or whatever, and then you end up like a fucking brisk 3 hour walk away from your ship. You know what I mean? Like, you're
Yeah.
far as fuck. And there's no you have to backtrack and there's no like waypoint system that allows you to like it doesn't guide you on a path. You just kind of have to guess like where to go or remember where you came from like but the levels are like they're so intricately designed it's hard to remember exactly the path you went.
Yeah.
So like I hate the mid-level backtracking. Like you finish the mission, you're like, "Oh, I'm done," and it says go back to the ship. You're like, "Oh, fuck."
Yeah, there's no Skyrim thing where like, you finish a dungeon, there's like a shortcut to get out like really fast.
Exactly. Yeah, you can't just like which I kept looking for something like that and I was like, why is this not here? Like,
Yeah.
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 So that's my least favorite thing about the game is that fucking the mid-level backtracking. The overall backtracking where you have to like go back to a certain place because you've gotten a new item that allows you to get through a new door or something. That's cool, but like yeah.
Yeah, I like that too. This game has a fuck ton of backtracking. There's only 5 planets to go to, so I was surprised. Like, damn, I have to go back to this planet again. Oh, back to that planet. Oh, gotta go back again.
Yep.
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 But I mean, it was more of like a nuisance, not like I don't like it. I was like, gotta go back again. But the mid level really pissed me off too. I was like, oh my gosh, bro, I don't
Dude,
know my way back. I have to just like
yeah, I don't
walk
know how
around
to
and find
fucking
it.
get back. Especially, dude, on the second planet. Fucking what's it called?
Ogano. Oh,
The rainy ass one. Not rainy. It's kind
oh,
of rainy.
I
It's
have it
like
right
gray
here.
and rocky.
Ray and Rock, Zepho.
I
That's
think
the
it's
first planet.
Zepho.
I think that's the first
It's the
planet.
one where you meet the second sister the first time.
I think I think that's either Bogano or Zepho. Or
I
Elam?
think
You talking
it's
about Elam?
no, not the snow one. It's Zepho.
Zepho.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah. So that one. Like with all those underground sections with the mines and shit. Like, oh
Oh
my
yeah,
god. Like
it's so
backtracking through that is like, oh my god, it's so confusing. Like because navigating underground in little caves is already hard enough. So like, ugh.
Mm-hmm. For sure. Yeah, I understand. Backtracking is one of the setbacks this game has. But what did you think favorite and worst, if you can remember, bosses in the game?
Um, let's see. Well, let's see. Definitely. Well, the hardest boss is absolutely Second Sister
Oh
at the
yeah.
end.
Yeah.
I won't say the true name just because it's kind of a spoiler. I don't
Oh
know. Can we
yeah,
say
we
spoilers?
I forgot to mention at the beginning of this episode, we will be mentioning spoilers in this game.
Yeah. Well, they're okay. If that's okay, that's been cleared now. So
Yeah, it's
okay.
been cleared.
If you don't want it spoiled, then goodbye. Get the fuck out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you kill Trilla, that's the hardest boss fight. The last one, right before Darth Vader shows up at the
Yeah,
end.
dude. Oh my god. Yeah.
Um,
Talk about that
that's
later.
and it wasn't that hard. Like there have been Dark Souls bosses that have taken me over 30 tries. Like I think Trilla took me like maybe 10.
Yeah, that was the amount it took for
Um,
me.
that was fucking hard. Like it was hard, but it wasn't like so hard. Like I remember the second boss in Dark Souls 3 took me like 38 tries or something stupid like that.
Ooh.
Um, and it was just like I would try 10 times and I would fucking quit for a whole week because like I was like I cannot do this anymore. Just like so
God damn. Yeah. Did on the first planet, there's like that frog boss. If you could like find a way, did you like?
he's a hard fucker too.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
you're in
he's
the
like
beginning of the game, Ogdo Bogdo, whatever his
yeah.
fucking name is.
Yep,
Did
I
you end
know.
up beating him? Did you kill him?
I I beat him later, not at the very. I beat him like a
Ah,
third of the way through, so
I
like
I
not at
was
the
like,
very beginning
I was like, I'm not leaving this planet until this fucker is
until
dead,
I
bro.
kill him.
Yeah, he's hard
Yeah,
because you don't have like you don't really have much to equipment to kill this fucker until you get it, and like that's what the whole main purpose was like, nah, I'm doing this now. I don't
right.
care. Definitely him sucks. That fucking bat, that bat bird you fight on Dathomir, which you're gonna see. I actually fight him in the gameplay.
Really?
He was annoying. I remember him being annoying at first, but like I was like, I can get past it. I think my favorite boss fight was I think the Ninth Sister was pretty cool. The one he faced on Kashyyyk.
Okay, yeah. The dinosaur lady.
Yeah, that
She
that
reminds me
lady.
of a dinosaur low key. Yeah.
I remember doing it on the second try. I was like, damn, I get fucked, bro. Are you serious?
Yeah. Yeah, I got her on the second try too, because her third phase was just like so much, like I couldn't get it on the first try.
Yeah,
So
that was cool. I'm trying to remember some other ones. That bounty hunt, that like that Coliseum style, those bosses.
that was such a weird little side tangent in the story. Like I still don't really get that. Like
Oh
it
yeah,
was very weird.
that was very weird.
Yeah. So like yeah, the robots, what else? Fucking I can't remember anything else.
Other bosses, like other big name. The Dark Jedi and Dathomir.
Oh, the old dude? Yeah,
Yeah,
he's cool as shit. Yeah.
Aaron Malikos.
Yeah, I like him.
I think him
He's
and the
rad.
Ninth Sister are like the best boss fights in the game.
Yeah, I think him and Second Sister are fucking oof, solid.
Mm-hmm. Did the bosses feel different enough from each other? Because I mean, we faced three lightsaber wielders in the game, or well, I don't even think you don't really face Darth Vader. Like you get kicked by you get kick his ass. You don't really face him.
Yeah, you get fucked up like bad.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
other than
Yeah,
that,
they felt different enough. Like, yeah, they're all like sword people, but like they're still cool.
mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, I think because like they have different styles of sword fighting, you know what I mean? So like yeah.
Yeah, they all felt that. I didn't feel like it was like the same boss with a different name. I thought they were all worthwhilely different, and Enjoyed everyone, not enjoyed every one of them, but like I enjoyed how different they were from each other.
Right.
The comparisons to Dark Souls, like games, because of the how you go to the meditation circle to heal up and get your stim packs back, but then the enemies respawn. I was like, okay, I know what this game. I know what kind of game this is going to be now.
Yeah, yeah.
What did you think of that?
Um, well, it's very evidently like they're trying to like expand upon that style of game. Um, but I think like it's it's good to use a formula like we know that works well for like these types of like action adventure like type of games that are like based on combat. Like it's a good formula, so like putting it to use for like different universes is always cool. I like that. Um like comparatively, like would I ever put this game like higher than a Dark Souls title like in this genre? No.
Mm-hmm.
But it does good. Like there's really bad Souls like games and then there's like good ones and this is a good one. So
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I like the strategic combat in this game. Like, and in like Elden Ring 2 and Dark Souls. Like Dark Souls is fucking hard, but like this game is like compared to Dark Souls, this game is easy.
I completely agree. Yes.
Even on the hardest difficulty, this game is easy compared to Dark Souls. What it is.
Yeah.
How
It
did you
was
like the pseudo bonfires in this game? Did you like it?
um they're cool. I think they're a bit slow at points. Like the interface kind of like it moves oddly slow. Like I don't know how to describe that. Like because I know it's not loading time. It's just like they made cool little smoky animations for like when you go into it or whatever.
Yeah.
And like it's just really slow and it kind of like like if I just pass one and I'm not even in combat and I don't really need it and I'm just kind of going to use it as a checkpoint,
Mm-hmm.
like I just hate like you have to go through the smoky mist and then like you have to
Yeah.
click rest rather than like at a Dark Souls bonfire you're automatically clicking rest just by resting at it in the first place.
Yeah.
Um so yeah, um
That
bit
too.
slow.
Yeah.
Could
I
have
mean, I
been
don't like that
faster.
too. They could have been faster,
Yeah.
and I get what they're trying to do, but yeah, they could have sped it up more because it's definitely slow. And like in the meditation circle, I mean, they introduced this after the game. They like patched it in. It's like like the practicing thing. Did you ever do
Oh,
that?
the yeah,
The
I did.
meditation
No,
training.
I played around with the battle grid thing.
Yeah.
You played that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, I
that
have
thing
played
is
that.
weird. Yeah. you can like you can pit yourself against some really hard shit. Like you can like fight against like two Inquisitor cows like at the same time. Like that's fucking hard as hell. Like
Oh yeah, and then can you face Darth Vader in that? I never tried that.
you can't. Yeah.
Hmm.
The only like dark Jedi you can fight is I think Inquisitor Cal, second sister, ninth sister, and
Terran
Malicos.
Malicos.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Um, in Dark Souls they have the Estus flask, but in this they have the stim containers or stim canisters. What do you think of that? And how he like pops it from BD1 and just injects himself with it? Do you like that?
I think it's fun. I think it's fun because it involves the droid. That's
Yeah.
cute. Like, it it does get kind of annoying sometimes when you're in like a big fight and you're getting hit a lot and you just have to listen to Cal say, here BD, help, help. Like
BD1 help.
it's like anyone please. Like it doesn't sound like it sounds kind of weird. Like he wouldn't say that. Like I don't know. It just doesn't sound like him. I don't know.
It didn't sound like normal. I was like,
Yeah,
BD1
it's like
help.
weird. Yeah. It's like
You got me,
something's
BD.
wrong.
You got me, bro.
yeah. Thanks, dude. Yeah, it's like kind of weird, but I
Thanks,
don't know.
buddy.
I like because I like the droid because the droid's fun. and I like their little bond together. And I think putting the health system between the two of them is like a good addition to like further the bond and like make you feel that there's a use for the droid more than just it being there for story.
Mm-hmm. For sure. Um, what about the skill tree? Did you like the skill tree in this game?
There were a lot of skills I found completely useless. Like I'll be honest, like some of the lightsaber combo skills, like I never used. Um, like the ones that were like a little bit too complex to think about, like in the middle of the fight, where it's like press X and then wait a slightly longer amount of time to press X again.
Uh,
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
and then it unleashes like a move that's just like slightly better than the regular just pressing X quickly. Like, yeah. So like some of the skills are absolutely dog shit useless. Like why? And then most of them are cool. Like I like the force skills; they're cool. The lightsaber throw is fun. Like that made me just think of Force Unleashed, just fucking
Mm-hmm.
whipping that thing around just all over the place. Like that's cool. Um, and then like the some like the stim improving skills, like where it refills your force or it refills more of your health at a time or whatever. Um, those are good.
Yeah, I didn't get that force one till like this this gameplay like today. I was like, oh my gosh, I wish I like saved up for it way before I played.
It's so useful. Like that's the only way I would have beat that final boss.
Dude, I didn't even use that for the final boss. Like I was
Damn.
tough, bro. Yeah, I had like strategically like
Yeah,
when to use my stim canisters and stuff. Like, oh fuck.
shit is hard. God
It's
damn.
fucking hard. But yeah, I like some of them I just don't remember using as much, like the double, like how you can like split your blade up and just like use that as like a one attack. Like you know
I use that a lot. Where you go into dual wield just for a second, like for one move.
really you use that?
Yeah, where you LB and X.
Yeah, LB and
Yeah,
X,
I
yeah.
use that, dude. I use that all the time. It's great crowd control. I love that move.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you use your double bladed lightsaber more? Like as much
Um,
as the for as single blade?
only well, when the little tooltip comes up right after you get the double bladed lightsaber and it says like double bladed lightsaber is good for crowd control scenarios. That's really the only time I used it. If there was a lot of like really weak enemies in a big pile, like a group,
Yeah.
then it was useful. Other than that, like not really. Sometimes I would use it because it's like it looks cool, but also like when you're using the double blade, it does less damage. So
Yeah.
yeah, I
Yeah.
don't like that. It
Didn't
was like
really use
way
it.
less damage, like a third maybe. Like
Wow.
it's kind of like I don't know if that's the right number, but it felt like a third. It felt kind of shitty to use. Like
It felt shit. Yeah, I
it looks
rarely
cool,
used
but
it.
like yeah, it looks cool, but it's like okay, like fucking
Yeah.
do damage, please.
In no boss fight did I use a double bladed lightsaber, I feel.
Yeah, there's you just can't.
You need a damage, like you need it now.
Yeah.
Any last things to say on the gameplay before we move on to talk about like the plot and the characters and the setting?
Say it one more time.
Is there anything you have any last words on the gameplay before we move on?
Oh, no, I think it's very well rounded. There's a couple of like a little bit of annoying things, but like it's great.
Okay, yeah, gameplay was solid. Definitely a one of the main things I liked about this game. I mean, it's a Star Wars game, so I'm instantly gonna check out anything that's Star Wars. But like this game, top tier among them.
I definitely say like 8 out of 10 on the gameplay.
Mm-hmm. Me, like 9 out of 10 to be honest. I like this. This is good. This is great. The let's talk about the plot now. This is heavy spoiler territory. What
Here we
did you
go.
like it?
Um, it's I really like it because it came out in the Disney era, but it doesn't feel like a Disney Star Wars
Mm-hmm.
thing.
Yes.
So that was cool. Like it feels a little Disney, but like not that bad. Like um it feels closer to like the Obi-Wan show than it does like the sequels. Like the sequels are like make me want to cry, and then like the Obi-Wan show like is like pretty good. Like it feels like a like a happy medium between Golden Age George Lucas and trash can burning hellfire Disney.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, um, I like it for that reason. Like it retains some of its edge, like the old movies had, but it's not like, um, yeah. So
Mm-hmm. I love this story. The ending, not so much, but we can get there.
yeah,
But
the ending's a little okay.
yeah, but overall, I mean, the game story is really good. Because it takes place like 5 years after Revenge of the Sith. So like, Order 66 story is like really interesting to me because like they're in hiding. You know, they got to do anything to survive. You know, they can't anybody. You know, I think that's so cool because only because it's like tied to the prequel story a
Mm-hmm.
little bit, and that like it's just a great setting for Star Wars. It's been explored a lot. Like maybe someone might say like too much. You know, like let's move on like something new. Because my questions for like the future of like Cal is like what happens to him? Because like
Exactly.
we don't see him in the sequel movies, and those are canon. Like
Mm-hmm.
where does he go? He's not integral to the story, but he's still there.
Right. He'd have to be involved in the original trilogy somehow, but we don't know if he is. I know that I believe there are books about him in the Legends canon, like the extended universe.
Cal
I
Kestis?
think so. I'm pretty sure.
I don't
Maybe
think
not whole
so.
books.
I don't
Let
think
me
there's
see.
any mention because he's like a brand new character.
Let's
But
see.
while he's looking that up, yeah, I don't
Oh
where does
no,
his
you're right.
character
Yeah.
go?
Yeah. There's nothing else.
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be a book that tells the events between this game and the next one. It's like I low key might read that because that means it's because when cause since this game takes place 5 years after Revenge of the Sith, that
Mm-hmm.
means the next game, which I saw, it's confirmed that like the sequel takes place 5 years after the first game. So does that mean that the events in the next game will lead up to A New Hope? Because how many
Potentially.
years? How many years between
So
Revenge of the Sith and New Hope?
so
It's like 20.
well, so the way they date things in Star Wars like lore is they use it's kind of like real world. They use like AD and BC, except they use ABY and BBY. So
Yeah,
BBY being before Battle of Yavin, and then ABY is after Battle of Yavin.
yeah,
And Battle of Yavin is the that's the destruction of the first Death Star, right?
yep. That's Episode 4,
Yeah,
the first Star Wars movie
yeah.
ever.
So um Cal is running around in, let's see, um what year would this be?
I think Episode 3 is like 19 years before Battle of Yavin.
Let's see. Let's go. I'm on the Star Wars wiki.
Wookie.
The Wikipedia, yeah. Um Jedi Fallen Order takes place in, oh, I'm struggling. Sorry.
Okay, I'll help you out here. So let's see. Um, Revenge of the Sith
Revenge of the Sith takes place in
timeline.
19 B. There you go. 19.
19. Okay,
Yeah.
that's what I thought.
So that
19
means this is
BBY.
14, this is 14 years before A New Hope.
Yeah, and then nine. So then the sequel will be 9 years before New Hope. So
10
we
years
we
before.
won't probably won't be seeing much of Han Solo, much of Princess Leia during this time at all. And so like there's a huge gap of years. Like what the hell does he do?
Yeah.
Where does he
Is
go?
this when Han is an Imperial starfighter pilot still?
Because yeah, you saw the Solo movie. I mean, he was only that for like a year or something. Like he wasn't it
Okay.
wasn't very long. So
Hmm.
yeah, okay. Before we get into like that much more, what were the story's pros and cons in your opinion?
Pros. Let's see. It follows a it follows an arc to somewhat of a completion. So like Cal's story is kind of like left in limbo, like we don't know what's going to happen. But the story in terms of like what happened in this one piece of media is over. Like we destroy the holocron so Vader can't go around kidnap all the little kids everywhere.
Yeah.
And second sister is dead, which solves Seer's arc, and Cal's arc is solved because Seer's arc is solved. And yeah, so it like goes from beginning to end. Which is something that like the sequels don't really do. Like they just kind of like there's no like progression. Like just random shit keeps happening. Like I don't know.
Yeah,
Like
there's
so that's what I said.
a
That's what I
set.
mean earlier when I said like yeah. That's what I said earlier when like this is not fully like Disney like garbage.
Mm-hmm.
so um so that's good. Like it has a beginning, a middle, and an end, which is
Yes,
important.
and
Um
even though like the original trilogy, there's three separate directors for each of those movies, but,
and it still worked.
and it still worked because they followed
Exactly.
George Lucas. They followed a plan like because George Lucas was like the executive producer, so like they were telling him like, hey, like he wrote the script for Star Wars and they went based off of that, and it feels like
Yep.
the sequels didn't go off of a generalized three film script. They went off of like each of their own. And like, okay, what can we do in this film? And then like, oh, how do we end
It's
this?
like yeah, it's like 7 is a remake of 4, 8 is like what the fuck, and then 9 is just like
Shit.
reusing old shit. Like what the fuck? Like
It's like shit. We gotta wrap this up.
yeah, we gotta get this one over with. Like, what's the easiest way we can end this? Like, oh, Palpatine has returned. What?
How?
Like what?
He's returned. How? He's
Yeah,
returned.
how? Explain. No.
No, he's just back. I'm like, oh my god, bro. There's like
Yeah.
so many other
Even when the fucking yellow words roll at the beginning of the movie, in the first sentence, it's like the voice of Palpatine echoes through the galaxy. What? Like
I was like, what the
this makes
fuck,
no
bro?
fucking sense. Oh God. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So it has a beginning, a middle, and end. What else? Um, it shows backstory, and I actually have a connection to the characters. Like I care about Seer, I care about Cal, I care about the pilot guy. I can't remember his name. Grease. That's his
Grease.
name. Yeah, because their backstories are hashed out and they are real and like relatable. Like Grease is a former gambling alcoholic addict man,
Mm-hmm.
and like Seer picks him up and he is given new purpose in life, helping others, which that's a great character arc. Seer um is a broken woman trying to do better by her wrongdoings in the past, even though it wasn't really a wrongdoing. It was more of like a forced position, and she's guilty about it, and she's trying to resolve it, and her arc is complete. And Cal is, he was trained by his master, and his master dies, and he does right by his master by re-engaging himself with the force fully and understanding his place in the world about rebuilding the Jedi Order and he makes progress with it. And yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
It was great. I
those are
mean,
my pros.
those are good pros, and I share the same pros. It's a good beginning, middle, and end. Like
Yeah.
the stuff that happens, the ups and the downs. Like okay, he has a lot of the. And I remember I was playing it back today, and how like he goes to get his like kyber crystal because he like on Dathomir like he finds the tomb, and it's like a dark force, dark side, vision that he has. Like his master's like berating the shit out of him. I was like, dude, you suck. Fuck you. And he's like,
It's like
no.
the dark side hole on Dagobah in
Yeah.
episode 5.
Yes. And it's
When
like,
Luke goes in there and he's like getting all fucking flustered. Yeah.
yeah, he experiences a low. And, it's like, I can't do this. But then
Yep.
he bounces back up because the bond he built with his robot friend BD1 is like, it's like, you're right. I can't. There's still a chance I can do this. Let's not give up. And I was
Yep.
like, yes. It
Yep.
made me feel
Yeah,
good.
dude. Yeah. I cannot lie. When in that scene when um Master Cordova comes on
Yeah.
the hologram and he says that quote where he says, hope is always there for those who continue to try or whatever.
To
I
still
shed a
fight.
tear.
Yeah.
I shed a tear. That was an emotional line. Um, and like if a game can like make me have that reaction, like that's good story. Like they did it. They did a good job.
They did a good job. Yeah.
So
They did a great job. I was
yeah,
like, I don't remember if I did the first time hearing that, but like seeing that again, I was like damn, like this makes me feel good. Like this is emotional. I like it. Did you have any favorite characters besides our main character? Well, actually, was he your favorite?
um, well, let's see. I think. Hmm. I think Cal's my favorite character. Yeah, yeah. Cal's my favorite character.
Favorite?
I think Seer grew on me a lot. I didn't really figure her out until like later, which is, like that means they actually developed her, which is good.
Yeah.
Um, I hated Grease when I first started playing. I was like, this guy is so annoying. Like, uh, but when I learned once again, when they developed him and gave me a reason to like him, I started to like him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's kind of key for character creation. Like you have to develop them and give the audience a reason to care. So, yeah, Cal's probably my favorite character. Either that or well, like, hold on, let me backtrack. Cal is either Cal's my favorite from like being the most fleshed out, like from a story standpoint. In terms of like coolness, definitely the fucking Dathomirian
Marin.
Night Sister.
Marin is her name. Like the Night
Yeah,
Sister witch, like the leader.
yeah. She's fucking cool as hell. Like, I also think Malakos is cool. But I think yeah, so like in terms of like a story based character, Cal's the best. In terms of like cool factor, Marin and Terran.
Marin and Taryn.
Yeah, they're fucking sick. Like Terran is sick. Like he's shirtless, got all these cool ass scars, and he's he fights double bladed like Ahsoka, and like
Yeah, dude.
yeah,
Like
he's cool as fuck.
when he reveals like himself like from the hood, I was like, yo, this guy looks badass.
Yeah, he's rad as fuck. He's like totally like old Ben energy when you first meet him. Like he's like
Yeah.
this bumbling old dude. Like you're like, who the fuck is this guy? Like, and then by the time you actually get down with it, he's like crazy. Like he's fucking
Yeah. Like he's
sick.
corrupted.
Yeah. So and then Marin's so cool because like you know she kind of plays like she was kind of like a indigenous type parallel. Like her
Mm-hmm.
people were destroyed by a lying invader type being Terran Malakos, promising them all this stuff if he could learn their uh Dathomir Night Sister magic to get access to the dark side and whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I like her because like her motivations are all like personal because like they fucked with her fam, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Good. Cool. I like Greased. He's fucking hilarious.
He is funny.
He has like a couple like when there's like they're having like Sierra and Cal having like an argument. And he like pops in with like some awkward dumb joke. I'm like, anybody but Grease.
Yeah.
It was stupid.
Dude,
Like,
speaking of Grease dialogue, I just remembered there's so right after you pick up Marin on the ship to like
mm-hmm.
join you, Grease's like, "Oh, I'm cooking steaks. Like, hope everyone's hungry." And then like he just gets ignored, and he's like, "I guess nobody wants any steak." Then like he's all like upset, and then he walks back to the pilot chair, and then Marin's like, "I take my steak rare," or some she in her fucking Russian
Yeah.
accent,
Yeah.
and I think I think she's so fucking badass. Like I love her. She's so cool.
Yeah,
And
bro.
then Grease is funny as hell. Yeah.
I hope like in the sequel, like maybe like we'll play as a Marin, you know, that'd be fucking cool. Imagine like those
Dude,
powers, bro.
fucking dark side or like yeah, that's like
Like
dark
witch
side
magic.
sorcery. Yeah, it's like because it is they are using the force, but it's like a different way. Like
Yeah,
I
it's
think that's so cool.
it's
Yeah,
like the force and their
their
magic,
cultural magic. Yeah,
cultural like witch magic. Yeah,
it's so cool. Yeah, playing as her would be sick as fuck. That would be so
yeah.
rad. Yeah.
So we're gonna talk about the ending of this game now, where after you defeat the second sister, the main villain, the whole game, fucking Darth Vader comes out
Oh yeah.
in the most badass way possible, bro, and just wrecks your shit like he should, bro.
Yeah.
He just came off of having his wife die, his master that like who was his best friend fucking cut off his legs and arms. Like this dude is filled with hate, and it shows in that scene. Like he fucking hates everything, and his powers reflect that. So
Yeah,
like
I think
that's fucking cool.
yeah, I think that cutscene is like one of the best displays of the the power of the dark side. Like
Yes.
fucking like
Yeah,
I
like
think like original trilogy Darth Vader, like he's kind of slow. Like it's because of the times. Like they didn't really have
yeah, and
the tools to make him like what he's supposed to be. So like
yeah,
most of what we see with Vader is kind of disappointing in the movies, at least comparatively. Like what we know of his power is like drastically different. Um, and this really shows like what he is. Like he's immense. Like
yeah, and you also like have to remember like it's it's like nearly 20 years like after the events of Revenge of the Sith. So like he spent 20 years in that mechanical body, and like slowly it's failing him because it's a mechanical body.
yeah,
You know, like he's not
and
all
dude,
there.
there's so many cool like not canon, but in Legends, it's kind of canon. Like I consider Legends more canon than fucking Disney at this point.
Yeah, a lot of people share
Um,
that.
yeah, because it's like fleshes out the story in a cool way. But like, um, if you go by Legends canon, Vader's suit when the Emperor made it, he used old technology that like wasn't up to date,
Mm-hmm.
and it just to make him be in more pain, so he could
Yes.
be angrier and like use his hate more, and like he made his boots too heavy so it would be hard for him to walk, and like just make him just suffer inside of his new like frame just to make him hate more. Like oh my, I think Anakin is the coolest character in any fiction I think I can ever think of. Like
Yeah.
holy shit.
His story is so like depressing, bro. Like it's so
Yeah,
good.
and he's so edgy, and that's why I love Hayden Christensen so much, because he's so edgy, and it's like he does it so well, like
Mm-hmm.
with his like really like low down, like wispy voice when he delivers his dialogue. It's like, like everyone makes fun of the I hate sand, but like the way he speaks, like when he's saying that, like it just serves the character so well.
Yeah,
He's just so like somber and like, yeah, I think it's cool.
yeah. He played it like good. People just didn't like how it was like written. Like I feel like he
Yeah.
played it great. And so
Yeah.
and like Eddie said before, like in the ending, the holocron they were searching the whole game for, that like they were gonna use to rebuild the whole Jedi Order, and like seeing how Vader just kicked his fucking ass, he's like, dude, imagine if he gets his hands on them.
Exactly.
It's like, fuck
Yeah.
it, I'm destroying it. Like no one's ever gonna. It's like, where do they go now? What's his goal after this? And I think I'm
Yeah.
gonna like buy that book that like tells the story of between this game and the next one, because I'm interested. Like it's got me hooked. Like what happens? And this is Star Wars canon. Like, will we see him in a TV show? Who knows?
Wonder. Yeah.
Because like
I don't know.
he's around.
Yeah. Because we do know that between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope,
Mm-hmm.
we know that Vader mostly spent his time either hunting and assassinating Jedi, tracking down little babies, or trying to find the secrets of reversing Padme's death.
Yeah.
So, in relation to Cal, obviously, Vader's motivation is kill. And now that the holocron is gone, I want to infer that maybe in the new game we might see more Vader in the next one, which I think would be really cool.
Interesting. You think he's gonna go out and try and like stop him?
Try to kill Cal.
Mm-hmm. Do you think Cal gets involved with the Rebel Alliance at all? Because we saw it in Kashyyyk. He was with Saw Gerrera.
That's true. Yeah. Well, I kind of like that Cal is kind of vigilante vibes. Like he's in a small team. No, he's not a vigilante. It's not like he fights for
Yeah.
what he thinks is right. He fights for what the Order believed. But like I like that he's not really part of like a big movement. He's just with Seer and Grease. Like he's just like a little team, and Marin as well. I like the small team vibe. Like I don't want Cal to just become like Luke 2. You know what I mean? Like yeah. Like Luke is way like more essential to the series and like way more powerful, but um like Luke is connected to the rebels because he's like the Grand General or whatever. Like Cal, I don't see Cal as like a Grand General of the Rebel Army. Like that doesn't fit him. Like
Yeah.
he seems more of like an adventurer, like small team kind of vibe guy.
Indiana Jones vibes.
Yeah, like just him and a few dudes like doing a bunch of cool shit. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely see that, and
Yeah.
I hope the next game continues that. Like, I hope the exploration thing they have in this game like carries on to the next one, but like they improve it further, because this really is his character.
Yeah, he's definitely a very curious person. Curious, like obviously he's kind of just thrown in with this crew, like, and the motivation is behind what they're doing is really what Seer wants because it's what she is aware of.
Yeah.
Based on her findings, but like Cal comes along because he sees it as like something that fits his morals. So, yeah,
for sure. So, anything to say about the story before we move on to like talking about the characters, planets, and stuff like that?
let's see.
Would you recommend this story based on the story alone? Would you recommend playing this game?
Yeah, I think so.
100%. And if nobody has like ever seen Star Wars and they just played this, do you think they would get it? Do you think does the knowledge of seeing Revenge of the Sith and like the prequel movies, does it help or is it
You
like
kind of
required, in your opinion?
you have to understand the motivations of the Empire to understand this game, because at this point the Empire is mostly focused on building their influence, killing the last of the Jedi, and tracking down new Force sensitives to recruit. So you kind of have to understand. If you don't understand those three motivations, then you probably wouldn't understand the game.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of Star Wars lore, and jumping into it is very, it's a big task, because like there's a bunch of media that you need to like watch to understand like further things. And so self-contained stories do better and like helping new people get in. But like this one, a lot of stuff is what I wouldn't say required, but like to know it improves your experience with the story. So before, let's talk about the settings and the characters before we like wrap it up. That way. Oh, did we lose Eddie? Hold on. I don't think. Oh, he's flickering. Hold on.
You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, now. This is my laptop, Mike. Hold on. I'm trying to get my headset to work.
Okay. While he's trying to do that, so like we said before, this game takes place 5 years after episode 3, Revenge of the Sith.
There we go.
Welcome back. Hello.
Okay, we got it. Okay. Jesus.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Here we go.
Yeah. Basically, all I was saying was like, watch like this game, watching the movies and like watching at least like the Clone Wars TV series is, I would say, like not required, but like heavily like recommended because it improves the experience of this story.
Yeah, you kind of get it more, like, knowing little things like what is a holocron, like what, like why were things okay before
Yeah.
all the guys in the white armor started to kill everybody, like what happened, like, you know
Yeah.
so just understanding a little bit of the motivation for like what happened before is, I think, important.
Mm-hmm. Good. Yeah. So 5 years after Revenge of the Sith, like we said, settings and characters. I just listed all these characters, just like if you wanted to mention something, if you liked them, didn't like them.
Mm.
These are like the main ones we see and some side ones. So Cal Kestis, he's a great character. Can't wait to see more about him in the book and in the new game.
Yes. I think Cal is a great developed character. He's a good example of like what a young Jedi is. Like he's not like all powerful, he's not all wise, but he is like good, and he wants to do good, and he wants to help.
Yeah.
And he seems like a kind person, which is cool.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
What do you think about Second Sister, Inquisitor?
Intimidating, interesting, cool. Sometimes like I've noticed like in the newer Star Wars, like as the Inquisitors were introduced into the Star Wars TV shows and the movies, some of them are like they're not that scary. Like um they're 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 written to be so scary that it's kind of cheesy.
Mm-hmm.
Second Sister is not cheesy. Like she's cool and scary. Like she's hateful and she has motivation. See, that's I keep saying that. Like all these characters are developed. There's
Yeah.
only one game and none of these characters have existed before. So, like they did that development so well. Like
Mm-hmm.
Second Sister is intimidating and cool. Like that's awesome.
Yeah, and by the end, she's like redeems herself. She's like, "I'm sorry," but like, I don't like how like they killed her off. I feel like she could have been
that
a
was
better character. I
that
feel
was
like,
kind of forced. I was like, or they could have given her like a cool death. Like Vader just kind of slashes her, and she just fucking drops on the floor. Like, okay,
Yeah,
you know,
I was like, she could have been such a cool character that we could have, her bond with Seer could have been, a good side story in the new game, but like,
yeah.
too
I
bad
would
she
have liked to
did.
have seen Seer and Trilla. Trilla is second sister's real name.
Yeah,
Seer and Trilla fight Vader together while Cal runs with the holocron. I think that
yeah,
would have been really cool.
that would have been
Like
pretty fucking
cutscene.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah, like they're fighting him together and like as like,
Mm-hmm.
master and Padawan, and Cal's running away, and like that would have been fucking awesome. Like, yeah, I think that would have been
Mm-hmm.
cool.
Um, what you said about the second sister is absolutely true. Like her motivation, like throughout the whole game, stop you, and then like, but peace, like she like slowly will like see, like she like keeps denying, like no, you're wrong. Like my master left me. The Jedi are terrible people.
Yep.
But like towards the end, she's like, I get it, but then she gets fucking cut down. It's like, ooh,
Yeah. The minute she realizes everything's gonna be okay, she just gets fucking
yeah,
chopped.
she's dead.
Yeah.
So, what do you think about the ninth sister, the horn
Um,
lady?
yeah, this one is kind of more on the end of like she's written to be scary, but she's just kind of corny. Like
Mm-hmm.
she's not that scary. I think it's mostly because the alien race that the voice is in looks really doofy and like really big and bumbling and kind of silly. Like that's my problem with Ninth Sister. Like
Yeah,
she's supposed to be intimidating, but she's not. She's just kind of lame.
yeah,
Like
it's a little more could have been done with her, but she's like, oh, like for the Empire, like that's like her personality, pretty
yeah,
much.
she's like yeah, she's more like a foot soldier than a character. Like she doesn't have much development.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's no backstory for the Ninth Sister. Like maybe
Yeah,
there is in the notes or like the
yeah,
the lore system of the game, but
she is actually in the comics. She's in some of the
okay,
official canon comics. Now that I remember, so
yeah,
like there's some stuff about her if you're interested. I
right,
think she's cool. But like in this game, you really don't know anything about it.
yeah. Which is my issue. Like, while they could have just rehashed what's been written in comics before, like they can do that. Like,
Yeah.
just kind of dump it in there. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Grease, great character. Like he's so fun. He's great. He's funny. That not doesn't overstay his welcome in the game story and stuff. So great
yeah,
lines too. He has good lines.
yeah. He's there just enough, and just enough is not very much. Which yeah, he doesn't need to be a main character. He needs to be there for just a little bit to kind of make you smile or like bring the team together in like a little family moment or whatever. Like that's what he's there for, and he does that good.
Yeah, for sure.
And once again, he has a good backstory. He used to be a gambling addict, alcoholic, and then he was contracted by Sear to help her out. Now he has purpose in life helping others, which I think is really cool.
Mm-hmm. Amazing. Good transition. Seer, former
Yes.
Jedi Master, lost her Padawan. Finds out she turned into an Inquisitor. Fucking unleashes like a rage. Like she even tells Cal like I tapped into the dark side. Like she's vulnerable in this game, and that's what I like about it. Like I want to make my wrongs right again.
Right. Yeah. I think Sear is actually super cool. She, um, I don't know what her lightsaber color is.
I don't think it's blue or
Is
green.
if I feel like green would like I've done so much research into like stupid little Star Wars facts in the last like few months. Like it's
Yeah.
getting out of hand. Like, um, she fits like a very like green lightsaber vibe to me. Like she seemed like more of like a intelligent like most of like the battle Jedi would wear blue. Like that's why Obi-Wan and Anakin like Clone War generals would run around with blue.
Yeah.
And then the green ones, like, you know, when you think of green, you get Yoda and Qui-Gon. They're more like spiritual and, you know, like archivy, like reading books and shit. Like,
They have their own sense of like justice,
yeah,
as you can see, because like that's what I think. Like
yeah,
Luke, like when they make their own lightsaber, because like Anakin and like in Attack of the Clones picks up some from random Joe's green lightsaber, and that's what he uses. But like Luke, Qui-Gon, like they built their lightsaber and it came out
yeah,
green, and so like that means something. And those characters have, you know, like they don't follow an order, you know, they have their own sense of justice. They're their own person, you know.
yes, exactly, yeah. Which I like her. I like her in that role because, you know, like, and she's a much more human character because she has faults and she taps into the dark side and she gives into her hatred and all this stuff, and she
Yes.
hurts people because of it, and that makes her so human. And that's why I like Anakin so much more than I would ever like Luke, because Luke is like too good all the time, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Anakin is like, he has human qualities to him. Like eventually it's hard to relate to Anakin because he turns into an absolute monster, but like,
Yeah.
um I'd say like up until um Mace Window Mace Windu gets thrown out of the window. Anakin is like a relatable character. Like he is, you know, he has faults and he does bad things, but he
Mhm.
also does good things. And like he's torn and he has issues. And, you know, that's why I like Seer so much, because she is torn and she gives in to her, you know, bad thoughts, and she loses herself in that, and she's afraid of doing it again, so she closes herself off from the force for years and years until she absolutely needs to bring it back again in this game, which I think is super cool.
Yeah. Really, really good
And
character and like story.
yeah, confirmed she does have a green blade. I was right.
Okay, yeah, cool. Because that's what I thought. Like, that's what her character is like most likely to have, like a green blade.
Yeah, she gives that vibe.
Yeah. Um, BD1. What do you think of BD1? Cute robot. I love him.
Yeah, cute as fuck. I like him better than BB-8, but not as much as R2D2.
Yeah, like R2D2 like has that person has the best
Yeah,
personality of a robot in
yeah.
Star
I
Wars.
think, yeah, like for like droid companion tier list, like R2 is definitely like the best, and then BD1 number 2, um like
C3PO?
C3PO probably tied at number 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you get like BB-8, and I don't know who else. I'm trying to think of other ones. Those are like the big ones.
Yeah, yeah, those are big ones. And
Yeah. Like BB-8's not bad, but like he's just missing something.
yeah, it
So
didn't help that he's in those movies, but
yeah, no, nothing helps being in the sequels. Nothing.
um Eno Cordova, the hologram that is inside BD1 that you unlock slowly throughout the game because your bond with BD1 grows. And so like it was before Cal, Cordova was BD1's, like companion. And so his arc was like he's like doesn't like the Jedi Order, like doesn't like how the rules, like sort of like a Qui-Gon type. That's what I think of this character, and how he like doesn't care about like the rules and like how you need to follow everything the Order says. So he goes off on his own and like does like his own research and stuff. And what did you think about him?
Well, he's almost a perfect parallel to Qui-Gon, because Qui-Gon's exactly the same.
Yeah.
Um, he's a little bit despondent of the Order. He's more interested in ancient prophecies and books and old ruins and stuff like that than he is interested in like modern Jedi stuff. So I like him for being a parallel to Qui-Gon, and I like seeing. So like we have Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan is Qui-Gon's Padawan. Obi-Wan doesn't really like Qui-Gon that much because Obi-Wan's very orderly. Um, highly sophisticated, likes to follow the rules, and Qui-Gon's the complete fucking opposite. So like their relationship is kind of tattered and a little bit like volatile.
Yeah.
But I like Cordova because he has a Padawan that has a very similar personality, and then they go on adventures together. So with him and Seer, um, you get to kind of see like what it would be like if Obi-Wan was more similar to Qui-Gon and they were like down with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, yeah, I like that.
For sure. Eno is a cool character, and I don't know how it seems like before you know that scene where like Cal finds this kyber crystal and that like last hologram plays or whatever. It seems like that was a while ago because he's like, I feel the Jedi Order falling, you know.
Yeah,
So like this robot was probably like just around for like years, probably.
right. Yeah.
Let's talk about Saw Gerrera, Rebel Alliance leader. He's like he's like one of those guerrilla tactic kind of people. He's like
Yeah.
if you've seen the Clone Wars, right?
The TV show.
Yeah.
I've seen like half of it.
In that and in like Rogue One, like wherever you see Saw Gerrera, he's like this military guerrilla tactics guy who like doesn't care what it takes to get the job done. Like just hates
Okay.
the Imperials and you know
Sure.
the droids and stuff. So like he'll do what it takes. Like any sacrifice is worth it if it hurts the Empire slash the what is it what's the other faction called? I was about to say the Confederacy, to be honest.
The
The
Separatists.
Separatists, not the Confederacy.
The Confederacy.
Yeah.
Robert E. Lee and the Separatists.
Very big connection.
Oh man, that's funny.
We don't interact with him a whole lot, but like on Kashyyyk, he's like a pretty main thing in helping Cal get to this tomb, whatever.
Yeah.
What'd you think of him?
I think this is the only character I wish wasn't in this game. Like,
Really?
yeah, he's just like I. This was like early in the game, so I don't remember it that well. I just remember like he seems like so arrogant, like really macho, like I don't know, just like that type of personality just rubs me the wrong way, like hyper macho, arrogant type people. Like,
Yeah.
so that I guess that's more of a personal opinion of mine, like a bias, but like, yeah, I just thought he was kind of annoying, like, so yeah,
Yeah, he has his moments, but like Saw is a specific character who has those qualities. Like it's like you need to have that one military leader who like doesn't give a fuck and like just whatever.
it's true. Yeah, like he fits like the kind of like the Iron Skull war hero type guy, like
Yeah,
that fits him. Yeah,
you don't know what I've been through.
you don't
Kind of
know.
character.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So not much to say about him. Marin, the Night Sister we meet on Dathomir, her character is really cool. You absolutely love it. Tell me more.
Well, yeah, dude, Marin's fucking awesome as hell. Like, um, her motivation's really cool because she was led to believe by Malakos that her people would be saved and protected by all this stuff if she would feed him their secrets of their dark magic, and she did, but he ended up using it for his own power, and it killed all the other Night Sisters, and she's the last one, and she kind of has like a revenge kind of tortured vibe to her, and I
Mm-hmm.
really like that, like because she has nothing left to go back to, like all of her family is like undead, like cannon fodder at this point, like um all of the other Night Sisters are just like zombies because of what Malakos did, and Marin's very like intimidating and kind of mysterious, and her magic is very visually appealing, like with the green and shit like that. It looks really cool. And it kind of shows like a different way of using the dark side that's not so like horrifically evil.
Yeah.
Um, So yeah, I think Marin's awesome, and like connecting Marin to obviously Dathomir is where Darth Maul is from. So
Mm-hmm.
this gives you a little more insight into like Darth Maul's cultural roots. So yeah, this
Mm-hmm.
is like the culture and the vibe that he was surrounded with in a religious context when he was growing up on Dathomir.
Yeah, and he's still alive around this point and in the sequel, so like that's another character we may or may not see. You know, that'd be
Sure.
a huge surprise. I don't know if it's really necessary that we need to see Darth Maul, but whatever
That'd
happens
be
in this,
cool.
whatever happens in that story, whatever happens. Yeah, Marin is sick. Do you think she could be like a love interest for Cal in next game?
I hope so because like kind of like okay, one of the redeeming qualities at the very end of the sequels is when it happens for 2 seconds and then it fucking ends.
Mm-hmm.
Um, when Ren and Ray like make out, like they're so opposite. Like I like super opposite romance. I think that's funny.
Yeah.
Like like a really like light side guy like Cal. Like Cal's like a really good, kind hearted, like
Mm-hmm.
good dude. And like Marin's like this kind of like tortured, like dark, like different. Like she's really different. Like I think that would be really cool. Like love story thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. I hope that happens. Maybe over about the book. I don't know. I'll let you know what the book is about if you're not gonna read it.
I found the page on the wiki about the book. It comes out on March 7th.
Fuck. Really?
It's called it's called Star Wars Jedi Battle Scars.
Fuck. So then that means the game must come out like shit April or something, or maybe it comes out before then. I don't know.
See?
Around that time, dude. 2023 is stacked. That's another. We'll talk about that for like the next our next episode. To be
Literally.
honest.
Yeah. Yeah, it
Um,
doesn't say when.
I thought I'll also read that pretty soon. Um, Taron Malicos, Dark Jedi. He is really he looks badass, and his character story like he's not an Inquisitor turned Dark Jedi, but he's just like a Jedi who like was corrupted by the dark side of the Force, which is it's all over Dathomir. I mean, just look how desolate that place is. It just
Yeah.
radiates dark side energy, and like he felt susceptible to it because he had to do what he needed to survive, and
Yeah.
being a leader among the Night Brothers is what he had to do.
Yeah. Yeah. I think because like first of all, like visually he's really cool, like he's intimidating and like he's mysterious because like I said earlier, he's like he gives like hella old Ben vibes like when he's in the robe and he's like
Yeah,
hello there, like
yeah. It's like don't go that
fucking like
way.
creeping around on the stairwell, like like
Yeah.
like who the fuck is this? Like so like and then he disappears for like an hour of gameplay and then he comes back and he's like this fucking monster. He's like super bad at like yeah.
Yeah.
So um yeah, I like how that kind of flips on its head, but also like from a writing standpoint, like he's like actually like a really bad guy. Like he like subjugated these indigenous people and like murdered this entire religious sect of Night Sisters, like
Hmm.
just for his own power. Like he's actually evil as fuck. Like, and that's cool.
Yeah. I
Like,
mean, it's a reflection of like on colonization
yeah,
that has
exactly.
happened in the
Yeah,
world.
yeah. It's like because like the new Sith in like the Disney era, like they're not that bad. Like
They're not even
they don't really.
Sith, man. Like, I don't, what do you even consider
Yeah,
them Sith?
isn't that weird? Like they're not even that bad. Like what has Snoke even done? Like that's so bad. Like he hasn't done anything. Like you don't even know what he's done. Like and Kylo Ren, like Darth Vader is a child murdering genocidal maniac. Like he's evil, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, and like Kylo Ren is just like an angry little boy. Like he's like he's not even like a bad person. Like he's just angry. Like they don't feel like Sith, like dark lords that are out to kill and
Yeah.
cause suffering everywhere in the whole universe. You know what I mean? Like, so yeah, like Malicos is like he's actually evil. Like he wants to fucking hurt people, and he hurts people to gain his own power.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
For sure. Let's talk about Jaro DePaul, Cal's former Jedi Master, who we see in flashbacks and who tragically had to die in Order 66 among many Jedi. Have you ever seen his race before in Star Wars, Eddie?
I thought I had, but I didn't know where.
Star Wars Rebels is where you might have seen it if you ever saw that TV show.
I did not, but I know about it.
Yeah, and there's a
He's
character in there that's like that race.
he's called a Lasat. That's his
Lasat.
race.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, he's cool. I mean, his personality is, like, what would you describe his personality as?
He seems quite stoic. He kind of reminds me more of like he's definitely not like an archive Jedi. Like he's not like a Qui-Gon type. Obviously, he has the blue lightsaber, um, meaning he's a little bit more free spirited. Um, takes matters into his own hands. So I see him more like a Obi-Wan type personality.
Yeah.
He seems very by the book, but he also seems very like get shit done at the same time. So definitely like blue lightsaber vibe for sure.
Mm-hmm. There's these animated shorts in the Clone Wars style on Disney Plus called like Star
Okay.
Wars like Path of the Jedi or something like that, and it tells the story of Count Dooku as a Jedi when he's falling to the
Oh,
dark side, and to also like
yeah, dude.
as a parallel
I've seen
Ahsoka
clips of
Tano.
that.
You should
Yeah.
watch it because like
Yeah.
that him Jarl DePaul's like was giving me like Jedi Count Dooku vibes a little bit,
Oh, really interesting. Okay. Yeah, dude. Yeah, Dooku's an interesting character. He's
Yeah,
very very cool.
you definitely watch that if you like Dooku, dude. I'm like, damn, this is I want this. They should make a whole like movie or something, not movie, but like flesh him out more. 'Cause
Right.
Dooku's fucking cool.
Yeah. You want to know something cool about the guy who played Dooku in the prequels, the old
Christopher
British
Lee,
guy,
yeah,
Christopher Lee.
Lord of the Rings.
He has the world record for most on-screen sword fights
What?
as an actor. So and that includes lightsaber fights. So like throughout his long ass acting career, he's had more on-screen sword fights than anybody else.
What the fuck? That's so cool.
Yeah. And I think he achieved that record after the Geonosis fight with Anakin, Obi-Wan, and Yoda.
Yeah,
So yeah, but that's a fun little fact I learned about that guy. Um,
that's
yeah,
pretty fucking cool. I was about to say like, oh, I was like, oh yeah, I know he's Saruman from like Lord of the Rings, but like I did not expect that.
yeah, no. Also, the the um the duel at the end of Revenge of the Sith is the longest sword fight in all of cinema. World
Really,
record.
it's a long
Yeah,
fucking fight, bro.
it is long. It's like 20 minutes or something. Like,
Yeah, like yeah,
like it cuts around, but like it's fucking long as shit. Like,
hell
yeah.
yeah, dude. Let's talk about. I don't know if you really remember. Like, it was listed as a side character, but Tarful, it helped you.
Oh, the Wookiee guy?
Yeah, it helped
Yeah.
you on Wookiee. I mean, it helped you on Kashyyyk.
He's like, you only meet him for like 1 minute. Like, he's talked about a lot. Like, he's built up a lot, but that's it. Like,
Yeah, I was like, it's
I don't
not
really have an opinion. He's kind of like NPC vibe to me. Like,
Yeah,
that's about it. Like,
if he was like
yeah.
not a named character, I mean, it wouldn't make a difference to me, to be honest.
Yeah.
So, that's the like list of like the named or the meaningful characters in the story. But let's talk about the planets, and then we can start wrapping it up. Bogano, I think that's the first planet you visit ever. So,
Yes.
what do you think of Bogano?
Um, it it's kind of boring.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know if it's the way it's drawn or the way they programmed it or something. It just looks kind of like it's like it pulls like kind of a like like when they test an engine, like you remember like when
Yes.
Unreal Engine 5 was in like its testing phase?
Yeah.
That's what it looks like. Like
Yeah.
it looks like it's a beta level. Like it's not like done.
Interesting. Yeah. Yeah, it's like you see a lot of
Um
nothingness up there. It's kind of small. It's a small
yeah,
planet.
the grass is like kind of buggy and like I don't know. It's like it feels like a beta level. Like I'm not really sure. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know.
Yeah, it's a good starter level to like introduce you to the game, but
Mhm.
it's like paths and like its level design could be better. I thought it's good,
Right.
but that's all it is.
Yeah. Hmm.
Zepho, the planet of puzzles, in my opinion.
Yes. Hella puzzles.
Hella
Yeah.
puzzles, but the lore on Zepho is really interesting. This like ancient society like that's gone. If you ever played KOTOR, there's a similar people that like I don't even know the name, but like it's similar to them somewhat, and like how like they have this big backstory lore and like essential to like the old Republic days, like the prehistoric times of Star Wars.
Right. I
So
gotcha.
yeah, what do you think of Zepho?
Zepho's cool. The only part I don't like is the mines like underground. Like they're really confusing to navigate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. Kashyyyk is my favorite planet. I just like Kashyyyk in general. The Vic foresty vibes and home of the Wookiees. That's fucking just dope.
Yeah. I love the scene where you get carried by that bird in Kashyyyk.
Yes, yes,
Oh,
that's so
dude,
cool.
that is awesome. Like there's like few games where I'm like wowed by landscape. Like first thing come to mind like Elden Ring,
Red
Borderlands,
Dead 2.
like Red Dead 2, um yeah, like those three, like BioShock, like and the way they did Kashyyyk and this bird flight where you're like flying up over this big ass tree, it's like, oh man, that's really cool. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Dathomir, the worst planet in this game.
Yeah.
It
Hard
looks
as
really
fuck.
cool,
Yeah.
like visually, but like the enemies in this game and that planet really just
Yeah.
they
The
really
fucking bow
piss
and
me
arrow
off.
guys. Oh my
Oh my god, they
god.
were pissing
I
me
hate
off, bro.
they're so bad. Yeah. Dathomir super hard. Definitely has the coolest vibe. Like it's really dark and kind of it just looks like a big Doom level. Like
It does. I was like, this. Am I
yeah,
playing Doom right now?
yeah. Um, it definitely harbors the coolest like little side character set with the Dathomirian witches. I think that's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah,
Um, Enemies are hard as fuck though, so ugh.
yeah.
um,
Bleh.
yeah.
Um, Elam, the the ice planet where you get your lightsaber kyber crystal. What do you think?
I think for even how short you're here, I think this one's my favorite.
Interesting. Why?
Mostly because it's so story based, like why you're there, and like the story is like really blown out, and it like when you're in the cave and Cal's like ready to give up, like this like shows Cal's like perseverance and development as like turning away from like being a learner into like being like a seasoned Jedi,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. He's like he knows not to give up. That's what I
Yeah.
like. And Elam, it's they do a couple episodes on the Clone Wars of Elam, and like this is
Yep.
where the Jedi go to get their kyber crystal. He talks about that in the game. He's like, yeah, Jedi come here, like it, but like he doesn't like it. You notice that he's like, yeah, I just don't like being here. You know, bad like bad vibes. What he gets from
Yeah.
here. It's like, well, that's interesting.
Yep.
Like, why does he feel that way?
I think it gives him bad vibes because it reminds him of when the Jedi were alive.
Yo,
And it
yes.
just gives him that's what I thought from that dialogue. I was like, oh, he's sad because he has to remember like when everybody was still alive and like not,
Oh yeah, it's depressing. You
scattered
might be
across
right.
the world and hunted and or murdered or
Mm-hmm.
like he
Makes
doesn't want to
sense.
think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's not a
There's
happy memory anymore. It's sad.
definitely not happy. No, fucking depressing. There's one more planet technically to go to, but not really, and it's the funniest name I've seen in a game for an
Fortress.
area is Fortress Inquisitorius. I was like, that's
Yeah.
fucking stupid as fuck.
Is that the same one that's in the Obi-Wan show?
Yes, that is Fortress
Okay, it is the same.
Inquisitorius.
Okay. I was wondering about that because it looks exactly the same. So I was like, this has to be the same thing.
Yeah, it's the same, and like that's the first time I've
Yeah.
seen it. I was like, I heard the name. I was like, stupid.
Fucking Fortress Inquisitoria.
That's like what a fourth grader would come up with for a name.
Yeah. Yeah. What's the place where the Inquisitors go? Fortress Inquisitorius.
I like did Squilliam Fancyson come up with that
Yeah.
name, bro?
Yeah, seriously. That's like heavy schoolium energy.
Yeah, I like that place. It looks like every other Imperial location I've seen ever. So I mean, still cool. The vibe to it.
I like it. I like really like heavy stormtrooper areas because like it just reminds me a lot of Force Unleashed,
Yeah.
like being in the Imperial ships and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Let's wrap up like the main discussion I wanted to have about Fallen Order. Probably some things we missed, but we don't want to be here for 3 hours plus talking about it.
Yeah.
There's some bonus ones I wanted to discuss before we get out of here. The music in this game, like every like Star Wars game, it's like amazing. Like I just love Star Wars music. It just sounds so cool. It's like a whole orchestra.
Yeah. Personally, the music is kind of like it's not mid, but it's like mid plus. It's okay.
Plus.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
like B minus energy. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I thought the music was good. They have some.
Yeah.
It's not really they don't really deviate too much from like the movies and like other media, but it has some good pieces in there.
Yeah.
The sequel, is this a day one get for you?
Probably.
We can do
I think so.
we can do something on that.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Yeah. I
Okay.
really do.
Yeah, that's a discussion for a next podcast on like what we're gonna fucking play for next year.
Yeah,
Because like
Jesus
it's crazy.
Christ,
It
man.
might like some executive decisions will be made next year.
Yeah, dude. It's insane.
Insane. Let's talk about I mean, this gameplay you're saying right now, I only have this armor on and like the red lightsaber is because of New Game Plus, and where like you beat the game once, you can go through it again. Obviously you're gonna have to you're not gonna get all of your powers back, but like some of the lightsaber combat that you learn, you still have. So like my skill tree is like almost filled up because of New Game Plus, and I thought it was a great way to it got me back into the game. It's like I got a red lightsaber now and I have a different suit. Like this is cool.
Yeah. I'm evil now.
Like I'm evil now. I'm going through the whole game with red.
Big bad cow.
Bad cow.
Yeah.
What
Here's a question. When you had to repick your lightsaber color,
yeah,
like when what did you choose?
I wanted to say I went with like purple, or like since I bought like the deluxe version of this game, you were given like a yellow kind of orange one. Yeah, I had the orange one. I was like, I want an orange one. Fuck it.
Yeah.
What did you choose? What was your lightsaber color throughout the game?
I used so first I looked up what he is supposed to have, like what's canon to the story.
Yeah.
So he's supposed to use blue, so I used blue until you get the new crystal, and then I used magenta, which is like pink.
Okay. I've never seen like a pink lightsaber before. It's crazy.
It was cool looking because like in my study of
Mm-hmm.
more Star Wars lore, from what I remember, I think magenta is like it represents like, because it's close to red. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like just like how purple is close to red, and the whole reason purple is like the whole reason Mace Windu is like uses purple is because he can tap into the dark side and like control it, and that's why he's so powerful and whatever. Um, but like magenta has like a kind of a similar narrative behind it, where it's like it's highly like it's a passionate color. So like the dark side uses a lot of like passion and emotion in the
Mm-hmm.
fight, rather than like stoicism and like control. Um, so like what I see in Cal is like a highly passionate character. Like he cares about the future of his friends and himself, and but he's
Mm-hmm.
not like bad for it. He kind of revolves himself around like the Luke style of like Jedi temple, like where attachment is not forbidden, and like it's okay to like love and be passionate
Yeah.
about things. Like it's not like the OG Jedi where it's like you have to be a monk and like be stoic about
Yeah.
everything and
Space
not
monk.
care. Yeah, space monk, like don't care about anything, like let it be. Like Cal's more of like that new age, like you should love and care, and like that gives you motivation to like be good and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
Really cool. So, just to end off, the game was like nominated for a lot of awards, but won some of them, and like the only noticeable one that like I'm seeing on here is like the Game Awards in 2020. It was nominated for Best Action Adventure Game. No, it didn't win. I don't know who won in 2020, but yeah, it was nominated at least. But that wraps up our discussion of Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. Give this game an overall rating.
let's see. Gameplay 8, story 8, characters 10,
Mm-hmm.
uh graphics and performance 8. So I'm gonna go like 8.5.
8.5. All right,
Yeah.
nice. I give it a 9 out of 10. I like it. I really like it.
Yeah.
It's not
I'm
God
leaning
tier.
towards 9.
It's
I'm
not
going
God tier
9.
Star Wars. Okay.
It's pretty fucking good though.
It's really good, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I'm going like 8.59. Yeah.
good. Good choice. So we will be doing our next episode will be 20, not 20, yeah. 12 games that we choose for each month. And like I said before at the beginning of this podcast, it will be a month that like during that month, whatever you played, if it came out new or not, like your favorite, it could be a DLC. I mean, it could be
Mm.
anything, just something that you played during that month that was good. And it's just like a kind of like end of the year podcast. And because after that one, there is still a podcast we were doing. Or I think, do you just want to take like a 2 week break, like for like the holidays, or and then come back like the 30 whatever, like towards the end of the year?
Well, we'll talk about this off air, and then we can tell people on the next episode
Okay.
when. Yeah.
All right, for sure. So highly recommend this game. Everybody take care of yourself. We will see you next time. Oh wait.
Hold on.
Where can they find you, Eddie?
Oh, that's right. You can find me um, Instagram for my fitness page, post week or like, a couple times a week,
Mm-hmm.
exercise guides, motivational content, progress updates about me and my fitness journey and powerlifting. Um, you can learn tips about how to train and like what, important things about training are and stuff like that from my page. Also, I have a couple of like workouts and like sample stuff that you can do in the gym if you don't really know what to do. You can find all that on Instagram at Eddie Lee Lifts with that spelled EDDIELIFTS. That would be very much appreciated if you check me out. If you want to find me anywhere else, don't look. You don't need to.
Yeah, fuck off.
Yeah, stay out of my life, Mom. God.
You can find me Pen and Pant, wherever Pen and Pant is. Yeah, I'm most active on Twitter. Looking to post some more stuff, YouTube wise and other things, but this is the most consistent thing I've done on Pen and Pant for a while. I mean, I still got like a Among Us video to do. I want to edit, but I mean, we'll see whenever that gets done. To be honest, this is more of a side thing, and I'm loving it still. But now we can say goodbye. Bye, everybody. Have a good one.
Bye.